What's up, you NEO investors and moneymakers? Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to address whether NEO can go to $22 to $23 next week. What is brewing? Because there is a lot of excitement around it. I have done more due diligence, research, and analysis, and I want to share with you. We saw that yesterday on a Friday. We saw NEO went down 4.79%. For last 5 days, we were pretty flat as well, as you can see. But for last 1 month, NEO went up 44%. So there will always be ups and downs in stock. It cannot really go in the same direction. But what I see for NEO, what I look for NEO is looking super stunning, very promising. I told you yesterday that we will see a pretty high short volume, and we did on Friday. So I was right once again. You can go check my previous video where I mentioned that we will see over 60% short volume. We saw 65.33% short volume ratio on FINRA. When we had the volume of 43.2 million, the short volume was 28.2 million. Even though such a high short volume, NEO did not step down. It was only down, and I mentioned, I want to say only because the market overall was in red. Nasdaq ended with 0.36%, same for S&P and Dow Jones, while NEO with a massive shorts, we did not really go below $14.72. We're closed at $14.72. More importantly, we went higher of our high price point of $16.18. Morgan Stanley has been saying, or they told us, that they expect NEO shares that very likely to rise over the next 15 days. A solid order backlog and improving production ramp well for NEO's ongoing operational recovery and rising sales. Morgan Stanley is expecting $18. One of my viewers and subscriber mentioned that what is going on, because on one hand Morgan Stanley is saying stay beware of Chinese stock. On the other hand, they are saying NEO is likely to be rising in next 15 days. The crux of the matter is this. I wanted to share NEO's monthly delivery. Now NEO delivered 20,462 vehicle in July. They have launched this new unit or new vehicle, new ES6, exceeded 10,000 units, and it is looking super stunning. On the top of that, there are rumors that NEO may have tie-up with Mercedes, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But what this 20,000 plus vehicle sales or deliveries mean in July, let's take a look right here. And these are some of the reasons and pointers and data analysis as to why Morgan Stanley is expecting that NEO will go, or NEO will skyrocket, and I 100% agree with this overall analysis, and I'll tell you why. Regardless, again, I wanted to point out the short selling pressure. NEO did not step down. Another pointer I wanted to mention, yesterday we saw the search term NEO stock was at 88. It is back up to 100 right here. So we were at 88 or 91 yesterday rather, and this week we are back to 100%, which means NEO stock is back in trending, which is again a pretty bullish sign. Now, if you think about the total delivery numbers, 20,462, it is not just higher number than any other month, but it is massively higher number. It is 2x than what we saw last month. So this yellow is 2023, the green is 2022, the orange is 2021, and the blue bar is 2020. Now if you think about from blue to all the way to yellow, it is massive for last month, but take a look this month, or the month of July. The data for the month of July is exceeding or over exceeding anything. There is nothing beyond 15,000 that we saw just in December. So this is the green bar. In December 2022, we saw that NEO sold somewhere around 16,000 vehicles. It exceeded way beyond that 16,000 number. We went to 20,462, which is again a pretty massive number. We are going to see even better number next month, and there is an expectation that the company may deliver up to 160,000 vehicles just in 2023. There are a lot of talks around 23,000 deliveries for the month of August that NEO is targeting for. It can over-exceed their own expectations. They achieved record deliveries in July, with the key model of ES6 seeing explosive numbers in its second full delivery month. With that, it is becoming more and more popular EV standards in the market, for the EV market, right? Overall, you also want to understand when it comes to NIO stock, if NIO stock skyrockets, the most beneficial parties are general public. Take a look right here. General public owns 46% of total NIO shares. There is healthy institutional ownership as well of 31%. What that suggests, institutions are smart money. Smart money is not going to lose their money, right? For the most part, they know how to protect their capital. They know how to protect the companies that they own. More importantly, they'll keep the measures when there is risk, and I'll keep you posted if this changes. Insiders own 9.3%. Having that size of investors from their insiders suggests that the company is going to do well, or at least the insiders believe that the company is going to do so well, or what the company is capable of. State and government 7%, public companies 6.8%. With all that, I wanted to mention another thing that NIO came up with, that NIO phone completed the last major regulatory process in China. Their CEO, William Li, previously said that company's first smartphone will be launched in the third quarter of this month. So, third quarter of this year. With that, we can expect that NIO will launch their smartphone very, very soon. The first smartphone has been granted the license to access internet in China, and the major process that needs to complete before the device can be sold in the country is almost done. NIO device received the license on July 10th, and that license is valid up until 2025, according to the filing on China's Ministry of Industry and Information Technology website. With that, which is going to be, again, we're not talking about being major player or not into the smartphone industry, but it will help NIO. Again, I wanted to repeat myself that it is from the branding standpoint, it is from the marketing standpoint, and the market share that NIO is going to acquire is going to be massive. Then in late March 2022, NIO mentioned that, and they're following up on what they mentioned to us. One more thing that you want to note is there are tax breaks that NIO is going to get, China's clean energy push they are going to get. With all that, there's one more thing into the mix. Now, if you know one more stock, XPeng, that skyrocketed as well. So from around $14, $13, it skyrocketed about 66 to 67%. Now, this XPeng had a relationship, or they came up with this particular news that Volkswagen and XPeng, they had deal set for the EV alliance between West and China, which is one of the major deals that we have seen between Chinese company and the West Coast, right? With that, what that suggests, this is a $700 million deal. Let's take a look right here. Volkswagen invested $700 million in the Chinese EV maker XPeng to push the sluggish sell. And there is a ton of rumor, and that was one of the major reasons as to why XPeng went higher, as high as 70%. There are refreshed rumors between NIO and Mercedes, whether or not the new partnership in progress. Before I go ahead, I just wanted to ask you, if you find this information helpful, make sure you hit the like button. Thank you for the likes, 300 likes yesterday on my NIO video. I ask you or request you to hit 300 likes on this video as well. Subscribe to the channel, and it means world to me, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on many juicy information that I share on my channel. With NIO and Mercedes refreshed rumor, think about it. If this happens, what can happen, right? The NIO stock can skyrocket, not $18, not $22, it can go to $25. Once again, I wanted to tell you that this is a very interesting picture right here, as you can see on my screen, showing the Mercedes CEO that met with NIO's founder, chairman, and CEO William Li. A partnership and collaboration between NIO and Mercedes makes sense to operate with the same luxury segment that the company that NIO is targeting the users for. However, it is pure speculation. I cannot really confirm that when this picture was taken, whether it's not a modified picture, so on and so forth, but there is definitely some rumors. Now, when you have smoke, you can think about some sort of fire somewhere, right? So with all that, if this comes into fruition, you can think that NIO can skyrocket, because there will be a refreshed, recharged energy within NIO as a company, as well as into the EV segment for China. However, you want to note that NIO denied at that time and mentioned that these are just the rumors and there is no partnerships and so on and so forth. But this has restarted once again. One thing that you also want to note is NIO has more than 375,000 watchers. One thing that you also want to understand here is what is the volume looks like. I love to look at the volume, and if you know me, if you know my channel, you know that we do a lot of technical analysis and we have been pretty right. You can go watch my previous videos, and technical pointers are working pretty seamless for the most part. Take a look what happened to the average volume, and this is pretty straightforward and pretty significant for the rest of the last week as well as last month too. When we had the average volume of 63.7 million, our volume on Friday was 84 million. With that, I wanted to show you real quick right here what this volume looks like. So yesterday, it shows 85 million in volume, 86 before that, and before that, 79. So the volume made a lot more sense when the price point started going higher and higher. So 1188 that you see here, we went to $14.72. So all in all, we did pretty well in last couple of weeks or last 10 trading sessions. We were about the volume of our average volume. So real-time volume is about the average volume, and there is a lot of speculation in terms of what is going to happen with NIO, with their phone, with the tie-up that they are trying, or there are rumors that they are trying with Mercedes. And if that comes once again into a real deal, this can skyrocket just in no time. If you think about the volume, and this is the volume for the contract expiring August 11, we see higher and higher volume. Take a look right here, $15.50, we see a lot of call volume. For $16, the green, we see a lot of call volume as well, and we see only call volume for $16.50, and this all suggests a very, very bullish signals. And I'll show you the option change, right? So this is the option change. After hours, NIO is up already 10 cents. But if you think about the option chain, we see the volume goes up, open interest goes up as the price goes up. Right now, we are at what? $14.72. For $14.50, we see 4,175 open interest. One contract is 100 shares. So don't forget that. With that, the volume is 4376. If you go to $15, the volume goes up, right? The call volume goes up, call contract volume goes up. That is, again, a bullish sign. Not only that, the option interest is also going up, which is a bullish sign once again. For $16, I wanted to tell you this part. See, for $16, we are seeing 4,500. Which is more volume than $15 right here, or $14.50 right here, which is again a pretty bullish sign. This is open interest, I'm sorry, but the volume is this. The volume is even higher, which is, again, in my personal opinion, while I'm not a financial advisor, these videos are only for the entertainment purposes, as you already know. Very bullish sign that suggests that NIO can skyrocket to $16.50 without any hiccup next week. But I'm expecting that if trend continues, we can see $18 next week as well. What I see in terms of the chart, and you also know that I love to look at the interactive chart, and let's take a look. $14.72, which is a real-time price point. We saw $14.96 as our moving average. So the red line right here, red bar right here, is the moving average. The moving average is above the real-time price point, which suggests that NIO is slightly in the bearish situation. But I explained why, right? The RSI explains why this is in the bearish zone at the moment, because of the short selling. The short selling pressure, once again, I wanted to remind you, is 65.33. So the stock was massively shorted, but the stock did not go down. That's my point. When we see, when there is 65% short volume, if the stock does not go down, that means more pump is coming. So we can see $16, $17, all the way up to $18 next week, just in a blink of a second. With 34 RSI suggests that the stock is oversold at the moment, which means that it can go into the right direction, into the positive direction next week. Now, if I can show you the 1-day chart, you should be able to see that how much is the short volume. So let's take a look right here. So all these red bars on a Friday, at the end of Friday, so 8/4, 337, we started seeing the heavy short volume. Short, 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 short. Again, pretty heavy short. The stock got back from 1472 to 1470-ish. And after that, we started seeing that the short sellers did not stop, and they ended with on a high note of pretty much big short selling. But even though they had huge short selling pressure, NIO did not really go down more than 4.79% or maybe 5% or something along those lines. That's my point. So with all that, that suggests that NIO will go into the right direction. And don't forget that this is all happening while US saw the credit downgrade. Also, the Chinese economy that also suggested that it is slowing down, and China is making measures, taking measures, so on and so forth. When we saw NIO exceeded, for the most part, NIO exceeded the price point that we were looking for, $16.18. We got back slightly down, but there are better days coming ahead. I wanted to keep you posted. Do hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.